News Talk 710 KURV, and we continue our conversations from RioPlex, this direct foreign investment effort that we're broadcasting from Houston. And for us, it's been a high honor participating in this event, as I refer to it as a historic event. We haven't seen this type of effort. It's a combination of local government and, of course, local industry. And let's go. Let's sell. Let's market the region. We have everything that we need in order to host any company wanting to set up production, wanting to set up operations and assembly line in South Texas. And at a time when manufacturing in the United States of America suddenly is very, very popular again for several reasons. We need to cast that big net out there. Joining me right now as we're doing the whole X Live and YouTube and Facebook Live, and of course this audio will be playing on 710 KURV from the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. And I got to say, for me, for years now, it's been a high honor speaking on behalf of my friends and family at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, our economic engine of the RGV. William Dietrich is a port director. And I also welcome back Esteban Steve Guerra. He's the chairman from the Brownsville Navigation District. What is the role, Steve, of the Navigation District when it comes to managing our port?
As far as we oversee all policy of the Port of Brownsville. We are a board of 5 commissioners elected by the people. The Brownsville Navigation District essentially is half of Cameron County. It's the entire city of Brownsville, Los Fresnos, Rancho Viejo area. So we, as the board of commissioners, oversee the policies of the port. Director, CEO, and our wonderful staff at the port execute.
And on the side of economic development and luring new tenants, correct, and filling up the industrial park, yes, and bringing more customers, is that something that our director, William Dietrich, will go out there and bring it to you and see if you guys eat it?
I will tell you this. Mr. Dietrich has done an outstanding job. He's been on the job for about 18 months now.
Yes, sir.
And he really comes in, energizes our staff, and really goes out and gets it. So we're really proud of the job that he's done.
Some of the physical improvements taking place right now, Willie, what's going on? We got deepening of the project with the industrial park, all those things. What's going on at the port?
Well, there's a lot of things going on, like you just said there. You know, the deepening of the channel. We've got 4 dredges out in the channel right now, bringing us from 42 to 52 feet. So that project is ahead of schedule. It's we should be done by late next year, and being able to go all the way down to the western terminus at 52 feet. Along with that, we're doing dock feasibility studies. Now, just having the dredging itself doesn't say that you can actually bring the boat to the dock. You still have to upgrade the docks, and there's a lot of work that goes along with that. Everyone knows the Next Decade project right now. There's 3,000 employees at Next Decade right now working. 70% of them are from are local.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
By next year, the projection is over 4,000. And with that in mind, I mean, this goes beyond just this project. And I think a lot of times people don't understand is that Next Decade is the dredge project. $400 million of this $500 million project, or over $500 million project, was brought in by our private partner. So we owe a lot of thanks to Next Decade and what they've brought to the region. Along with that, you know, success becomes addictive. And then when other people see that Rio Grande LNG is coming down, they're having such a great experience in the Rio Grande Valley and with what they're doing here. This is starting to pick up with tier 1 organizations around the country. We're starting to get the calls from the tier 1 organizations.
I don't know, man. Somebody decides to show up and spend $400 million on me. All I hear is, I believe in you.
Sure.
And we're going to succeed together.
You know, that our channel deepening project took 16 years to finally get done. You know, with going through the Army Corps of Engineers, this process was 16 years in the making. So it was in June of 2022 that I got the call from outgoing colonel from the Army Corps of Engineers, ready to sign this. And that's how long it is.
How much longer until it's done?
As far as the
the whole project that they intended to do.
I think in the next 18 months.
As it relates to the dredge itself, we're looking at about 18 months, no longer than 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they were given a long lead time, but talking to the dredges and the dredge companies, they feel that they're going to be able to finish this ahead of
And
schedule.
then follow up maintenance to this. Like, how often and when do you go back and just take that silt, go get that gunk again?
Well, the interesting thing that's usually yearly maintenance that
Okay.
is figured into the cost of the channel. So every year they would come in and they'd be able to remove the shoaling and keep it at 52.
Okay. So it's kind of like one of those places, like the car wash, you pay like $20 a month and you can do it like unlimited car wash thing, right? It's one of those.
Yeah, it's
You
one
get-
of
we
them.
got a good deal.
But this, in regards to this project, I think the stars align. The way Chief says, next decade comes in, obviously, it's the first public-private partnership of its kind, and they're going to incur a chunk of this cost. But also, we obviously had to pitch in on the port's dime, but Congressman Vicente Gonzalez also helped us out by bringing $68 million down. So it all just worked together right at the right time, and I believe that this is single-handedly the most important project.
That is Steve Guerra. He is our chairman for the Brownsville Navigation District, Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. Our port director is William Dietrich. When you made mention, Mr. D, of the dredging thing, it's not the only thing we need to do. You got to make improvements to be able to park the ships. So I'm thinking that's like climbing up to the top of the shopping list, priority list, because that's potentially a lot of new business. I'm thinking with a much deeper port that we have. Let's see what can, or do we wait for a commitment from somebody before we say, okay, we're going to put a crane over here or this type of equipment in order to host those type of ships?
No, that's definitely part of the project, and it's the next project, and it's actually working in unison with the dredge itself. So we've already completed the feasibility study. We already know what we need to do for our heavy duty dock. So we're just pending going out for engineering and then executing at that point. So this is all going to come together at the same time.
That's terrific. All right. So within the 18 months before they finish, right?
Yes, sir.
We might see those necessary improvements. And let's start marketing. Let's start selling.
Yeah, there's an expectation and that as soon as this is done, that you're going to be able to take advantage of the 52 feet. So we're going to be there.
Well, speaking of selling, quite the sales presentation. That's how I've been referring to this. We're in Houston. This private, public, and I put private first because it's initiated by Joaquin Spammer and other business folks who are taking the energy power potential of our economic development presentations, putting all of our unified RGV and Northern Mexico assets in one presentation and telling potential foreign investors, put them in a room, captive audience. We had 14 nations listening here in Houston, and hopefully this will lead to market visits and tours at the port and things like that. And they got like another 15 or 20 nations that are waiting to hear the same presentation. So very aggressive, and we're hoping very successful because we've got all the game pieces necessary to host whoever wants to come to the Rio Grande Valley, and hopefully we get some success on this RioPlex, this foreign direct investment.
And I think this is an excellent opportunity, an excellent time as well. And I'm honored to have been asked to serve on the board of directors for RioPlex. We'll be representing Cameron County, all the projects we have down there. We're making this a regional effort. We're working in unison now, and I think that's very important. I think it's a great message to send out to the public. People know what this is an area.
Yeah.
There's no more of this, invisible competition. We're working all together for the greater good of the entire Rio Grande.
I asked one of the judges earlier about this. You get that sense, that feeling, that Friday night football mentality, this parochial ideas, this is fragmentation. It's all part of the past. But there's seems to be a new spirit.
I agree
that we are RGV, and of course the name we're using is RioPlex because we take into account the realities of manufacturing and international investment and multinationals, and all the potential that's right. That's the reality and the potential that exists in Northern Mexico and in Southern Texas.
And in my remarks earlier this morning, I said that. I said in name we are the Port of Brownsville. But we are really the port of the entire Rio Grande Valley and Northern Mexico. Proud to say that.
It's the Rio Grande Valley, Port of Brownsville, and the Port of Monterrey, which is something, like how much, like tell people who have no idea, the steel inbound, outbound, the raw materials, the bars, all that stuff. We get a lot of steel, and it all goes to Monterrey, Saltillo, and eventually goes back to market as some,
White appliances.
exactly,
Cardboard.
right? Cars, something like that.
Yeah, and definitely, 95% of what comes in goes into Mexico. That stat's changing a little bit because we have a big project here at the Port of Brownsville with the LNG, and there's a lot of the aggregate and a lot of the project cargo is coming in for that. But nevertheless, yes, over 90% of that is all going into Mexico. And, for us, understanding how that works and going in, supplying the maquila industry over there, I think for us, we want to be a little more strategic and say, how can we keep some of that here instead of being a pass-through port? Maybe we can bring in some value-added industry so we can really capitalize on that.
There's no denying it. The economic engine of the RGV is the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, and Brownsville itself, with everything that's taking place, like our neighbor Elon Musk, like right next or right across the water from me, 3,000 people at that gigafactory. We got big high tech coming up, probably in a couple of months. Big announcement on that, and other major projects. And I know off radio, you're looking at all these potential and commitments, really commitments.
Correct.
And here it comes.
Oh, they are, and billions of dollars
Yeah.
that we have in projects in the pipeline. One of the chief's jobs is to sift through these projects, make sure that they're real projects, do their due diligence. So that's what we're dealing with. 10, 15 years ago, we were out there, and we still are out there inviting people to come visit, but now the phone's ringing by itself. And the job of our staff, chief, is to get through these projects, find out if they're real, if it makes sense for the Port of Brownsville. So that's what the bulk of the time is spent on right now.
Well, you guys are hitting eagles of late. So is Brownsville. So is Cameron County. So much potential right now. That's how long it takes to perfect the game, golf game, like 15, 16 years.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why I said that. I hate golf. I really do hate golf. Mr. Dietrich, your impression on this RioPlex get-together that happened today. I'm thinking, man, we need a lot more of this. We need this consistent summit, get-together, messaging, and bringing people in to the market and into a captive audience room like this in order to continue to sell. Anyway, I just want to get your parting thoughts. And
parting
impression.
thoughts on that would be relationships are everything. That we can set up organizations and create a mosaic of who can do this and who can do that. But today I felt like we really had a melting pot. We brought everybody together, and I can see the alignment and the amount of enthusiasm that was portrayed in the room today. And with that in mind, I think that's going to help us as we facilitate these big projects, because it's really, we have to work at the speed of business, not at the speed of government. And if we can find conduits to work quicker, and if it takes creating a relationship to speed up what we need to do, this is a perfect opportunity to do it.
Okay, I'm writing that one down. I'm gonna get that one tattooed. I don't have any tattoos. We need to work at the speed of business, not the speed of government. And that is, as our friend Joaquin Spammer and others have expressed, let's take the energy potential successes of EDC offices that have been successful. Let's partner with them. We're on the front lines of business. We can recruit and put everybody in one room. Let's go. Sell. Parting thoughts, Steve, before I let you go.
Excited, very excited what's come to the Rio Grande Valley. A lot of things that we do that we're doing at the Port of Brownsville are going to affect the entire Rio Grande Valley. And then when you come together as one, this vision, and I do want to take an opportunity to thank Mr. Spammer. I think it's certainly not an easy task getting everybody together, bringing them under one roof. I think this was a very successful event. I'm looking forward to the next one. I really am, because this could really make a change in the real place.
We surely hope so. Yes, just got to continue messaging. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
And join us on News Talk 710 KURV and all the different pages and platforms that we have on X and YouTube and Facebook. We'll be providing these interviews on LinkedIn as well, and also on the radio at News Talk 710 KURV from Houston at RioPlex, this Foreign Direct Investment Summit. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thanks for joining us.